What is happening, everyone? Welcome back. How you doing today? Are you doing okay? I hope that you're doing okay. Hope you're doing well. Hope your families and your friends, hopefully which I'm a part of, are doing well today. We're listening to a little bit more from the police. We're moving on. We're skipping Miss Gradenko, only because we've already done Miss Gradenko. So we're moving on to the next track, which is Synchronicity Part 2. I've literally just listened on my off time. By off time, I mean like before recording time. I've literally just listened to Synchronicity 1 just to get it back in my mind. So therefore, we're going to move ourselves into Synchronicity Part 2. Hope you guys are having a lovely day. Hope you're doing well. Let's do it. It's after work right now. I'm ready to relax. You know, sometimes I record after work, sometimes I record on the weekends, but especially after work, after a long day, you just want to come back down and relax. You just want to chill. So I hope that it's a chill day for you. Hopefully you guys are relaxed. That's kind of it. Let's do it. This is Synchronicity 2. I like this song. I like this song. I was expecting something in this song, and maybe there is something that does. It's only my first listen, but I was expecting something from this track to harken back to the first part. But I'm not really finding anything musically or lyrically, yes, thematically, but none of the other two that's connecting these two tracks. Which, first of all, is a pleasant, a pleasant surprise. I'm losing it. It subverted my expectations, right? So already it has that going for it. This is a much darker turn, a little bit of a more dramatic edge than we've heard thus far, and this far into the album. Whereas if I'm just comparing, Synchronicity 1 is a bit brighter, it's a bit hipper, it's a bit dancier. This one, like I said, there's a gloominess to it. There's a little bit of a depressive state on it. Barring Andy's flashy guitar, which I love the little lines that he pops up with. It's like little bright spots in the music. Sting, his voice gets very aggressive in certain moments. Very direct, almost confrontational. His bass runs at some points during the verse are just very one notes, one tone. But then as he breaks it up in the chorus, it shifts into a more interesting direction. The thumping that happens in certain key moments in the music, the boom, 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 boom. Or when in the lyrics when he mentions getting kicked in the crotch, or it's like being kicked in the crotch. And then you hear the thump there is a kind of like darkly comedic moment. This song has a lot going for it. Now it goes on for 5 minutes and there's not a lot of changes in the music, but it does hit a certain flow. I think a lot of the focus is on the story, and even if you're not following the story, you can hear that there's something just a little sadder kind of going on. This one's interesting, and yet it still does have and retain that high energy that the Police are known for. Let me bring it back down again real quick. Even before I continue on, even Copeland's drumming, while it's very samey the way through, just keeping a very static rhythm, even he comes in with a little bit of like of a bass fill, which you hear maybe 3/4 of the way through. He comes in with just a little bit more spark. This song kind of reminds me, if you shifted the bits in certain places a little bit, I think you have a little bit of old school Genesis in here. Hear me out. I mean, in the way that they have this kind of way of storytelling. If you shifted the dynamics of the music just a little bit, I think you have like an interesting Phil Collins drumming, Peter Gabriel singing, Tony Banks. I'm sorry. I'm not talking about the song. I'm talking about what I think the song could be if you transformed it. But irregardless of that, it is a really, really nice song. Nice atmosphere here. I like this kind of dragging down moment in the ambience. Right? What Summers is doing there with that growly tone and then the shrieking as he goes higher on the frets. I went higher, but I meant higher. On the frets is a cool thing that he does in other tracks too, where he creates a certain kind of atmosphere. He gets a certain, not a vocal styling, but a vocal-like characteristic out of the guitar, which a lot of other musicians do, and I find that it's always really interesting when they do that, especially in a break, which is instrumental, and there is no singing or are no vocals involved. It kind of takes the place of it while giving it a completely different flavor. And as he moves on with his solo, he does that the whole way through. You have Fripp, for example, that does that a lot, especially in his guitar work. Let's get into these lyrics, huh? Which I think are pretty interesting. I really think that we're continuing this theme of synchronicity. You know, two different places, but people aligned, or, you know, I don't know, spirits aligned, minds aligned, something aligned deeper than the physical, no matter the location or the distance. Another suburban family morning, grandmother screaming at the wall. We have to shout above the din of our Rice Krispies. We can't hear anything at all. Mother chants her litany, is that a prayer, I think, of boredom and frustration. But we know all her suicides are fake. Daddy only stares into the distance. There's only so much more that he can take. So this is a very troubled household. The line where he says, but we all know her suicides are fake. I kind of get this. And this is a deep topic, so I want to tread lightly because I don't like to get too deeply into certain things. I think he's basically saying that, in a literal sense, mom is saying that she's going to kill herself, but they've been through this situation so many times over and over again that they know it's not, at least in this situation, it's nothing to be concerned about. They know that perhaps she's doing it because she wants attention. Maybe she's just in a very bad mental state. Who knows? But they don't have a reason to be concerned over her. Many miles away, something crawls from the slime at the bottom of a dark Scottish lake. Is it Nessie? Another industrial ugly morning, the factory belches filth into the sky. I like that wording, that the factory belches filth into the sky. He walks unhindered through the picket lines today. He doesn't think to wonder why. I like that. He's going to his job. He's going to the factory. We're getting the idea of pollution, right, from the lines before. He walks through the picket line. There's people protesting it. And he walks through without a thought of why they're protesting it. He doesn't care about that. He's not worrying about that. He's worrying about his job. I'm assuming providing for his family. Those things, which aren't bad things, but perhaps you can stop to take a moment and think about why they're protesting. The secretaries pout and preen like cheap tarts in a red light street. But all he ever thinks to do is watch, and every single meeting with his so-called superior is a humiliating kick in the crotch. So we're getting this literal story, right? But of course the idea of synchronicity, something else is happening so far away that is in some way related or connected to that story, which is that chorus, which repeats and progresses many miles away. Something crawls to the surface of a dark Scottish loch. It's a Loch Ness Monster. So before, it was something crawling from the sky. Something crawling from the slime at the bottom of the lake. Now, it's something crawls to the surface. So as our main character, as his feelings and anguish and anxiety are building up, so is this other thing so far away building up from the depths. That's really cool. I like that. Another working day has ended. Only the rush hour hell to face, packed like lemmings, Van de Graaff generator, into shiny metal boxes. Isn't that Public Image Limited? Isn't that an album? Metal Box. Contestants in a suicidal race. Daddy grips the wheel and stares alone into the distance. He knows that something somewhere has to break. He sees the family home. Now looming in his headlights, the pain upstairs that makes his eyeballs ache. The family situation we heard before in the morning, which is just turbulent and disturbing, he now is going back to after a long day of work. The double entendre of when he says the pain upstairs makes his eyeballs ache. Two things: his headache that he's got from a long day of work, and then the pain upstairs as he's driving towards the house. He knows there's pain coming. Many miles away, there's a shadow on the door of a cottage on the shore of a dark Scottish lake. Many miles away. Maybe it's maybe it's old Greg coming for his Baileys. Oh man. Okay. Apparently no one else has watched Old Greg. Okay. Yeah, so two completely different things, and yet there's a feeling rising. There's this feeling of angst, of pressure, depression. It's just all of this coming to a head. And so we have, like I said, the literal story with the family and this man, and then whatever it is coming out of the lake. Nessie, Old Greg, it's one of the two. Either way, great song. Let me know what you guys thought, though. You can follow me in a bunch of places over here on the screen. Hope that you're having a wonderful day. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you tomorrow. I don't know why it's lapped. I'm sorry. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.